Fans of the Pawn Stars were shocked to learn that Richard Kevin Harrison, also known as Rick Harrison, had received a life sentence. Rick, who was well known for his straightforward business methods and in-depth understanding of the program, suddenly encountered serious legal problems, which no one had foreseen for years. By showcasing the fascinating world of pawn dealing, difficult negotiations, and the daily drama inside Rick Harrison's well-known Las Vegas pawn store, Pawn Stars kept viewers engaged. However, Rick Harrison's prosperous TV career has recently taken a dark and unexpected turn. What did he do to deserve such a severe punishment? Keep checking back as we examine what transpired in Rick's life to lead to this significant shift in the entire startling Richards case. Kevin Harrison is a well-known American businessman and television personality. Born in Lexington, North Carolina on March 22, 1965, at the age of 2, his family moved to San Diego, California, where he spent the majority of his childhood. Rick began experiencing seizures at the age of 8, so he spent a lot of time reading books as a child, which helped him learn a lot about history and later helped him in his work. Rick's early life wasn't easy because he battled epilepsy, which caused him to miss school frequently, eventually dropping out during his sophomore year of high school. Despite this setback, he devoted himself to self-education and devoured books on a wide. In his teenage years, Rick started working alongside his father in a variety of business endeavors. He developed a keen eye for value and authenticity, skills that would prove invaluable in his future career at the age of 17. This autodidactic approach would later become evident in his encyclopedic knowledge displayed on Pawn Stars. After Rick's girlfriend Kim became pregnant, they were married. The young couple had 2 sons, Corey and Adam, before divorcing after 8 years of marriage in 1981. Rick's family moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, where his father, Richard Benjamin Harris, also known as the Old Man, opened a gold and silver coin shop. Over time, the business grew to become the well-known Gold and Silver. The transition from a coin shop to a pawn shop in 1989, which would serve as the backdrop for Pawn Stars decades later, was strategic as the Harrisons saw the potential for higher profits in the pawn business. The early years were difficult, with Rick and his father putting in long hours to build their reputation in Las Vegas. In the early 2000s, Rick had to deal with challenging customers and occasionally dangerous situations. These experiences strengthened him and improved his negotiation skills. Rick was well known in Las Vegas for his extensive knowledge of various collectibles and antiques, and people heard that the pawn shop was a place to find unique and valuable items, which attracted both locals, and Rick eventually secured a deal with the History Channel in 2009 after years of rejection and perseverance. The show followed the day-to-day operations of the Gold and Silver pawn shop and featured Rick, his son Corey Bigos Harrison, his father Rich Old Man Harrison, and their friend Austin Chumley Russell as they appraised, bought, and sold items of historical significance and questionable value. The show quickly gained popularity, turning Rick from a local pawn shop owner into a TV star. His catchphrase, straight talking, coupled with his amiable demeanor and in-depth knowledge of historical artifacts, made him a favorite. Rick's well-known "his best I can do" statement gained notoriety while speaking with those looking to sell their valuables. Rick's insistence that each episode include historical details about the items brought into the shop, with Rick frequently providing detailed context and background that showcased his vast knowledge, set Pawn Stars apart from other reality shows. This approach appealed to a wide audience, making the show one of the History Channel's most successful programs. Under Rick's direction, the pawn shop expanded its business, drawing tourists from all over the world who hoped to see the stars or even appear on an episode. Rick also took advantage of his fame by writing books, making personal appearances, and as the face of Pawn Stars, Rick's success propelled him into a new realm of celebrity, including opening a restaurant. He appeared on many talk shows, was featured in magazines, and became a sought-after speaker at business events. His story of rags to riches resonated with many Americans, and his straightforward business advice earned him respect outside of the entertainment industry. Known for his business, Rick was the show's voice of reason, frequently preventing his son Corey from making large purchases or Chumley from getting into trouble. He and his father shared a mutual respect that grew out of years of working together, and when his father passed away in 2018, Rick showed his respect by carrying on with the business's values. His personal life had its ups and downs. After his first marriage ended, he married Tracy Harrison, with whom he was together for 27 years until divorcing in 2011. In 2013, Rick married Deanna Biddett in a ceremony officiated by his Counting Cars co-star Danny Coker, with Chumley serving as the ring bearer. Rick's father had taught him during the height of his fame on Pawn Stars. Although Rick's family life was largely kept secret, it was occasionally discussed on the show to highlight his commitment to them in spite of the pressures of operating the pawn shop, fame, and business. Rick co-wrote the 2011 book Licensed and launched Rick's Rollin' Smoke Barbecue and Tavern at Pawn Plaza, which is adjacent to the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. Throughout his career, Rick was constantly searching for innovative methods to expand his brand and business empire on Pawn Stars. He demonstrated a remarkable ability to see value where others might overlook it in his books, A Pawn Deals Steals, and My Life at the Gold and Silver, which focused on his life and business philosophy. He appeared to know a lot about many things, but he frequently brought in experts when he didn't know enough about them, which demonstrated that he was intelligent, like a manager, and aware of his limitations. Viewers watched as he examined everything from vintage autos and old documents to contemporary treasures. On the show, Rick has bought and sold a lot of items. Some of the prices he obtained were fantastic, whereas some weren't as excellent. He regularly transformed tiny expenditures into significant profits for the store, thanks to his expertise in firearms, timepieces, and American history. One of his most well-known acquisitions was a 2001 New England Patriots Super Bowl ring, which he purchased for $2,600, but was actually worth much more. A collection of Spanish gold doubloons discovered in a shipwreck in 1715 was another well-known acquisition that demonstrated his interest in both history and precious coins. Rick experienced difficulties in his life mostly because of his own choices. To be honest, his legal issues began in 2023 when federal officials raided his home in Las Vegas as part of an investigation that had already been ongoing for months. The investigation's purpose was not disclosed to the public, which sparked a lot of conjecture online. Even Rick's close friends and family were taken aback by the FBI investigators' raid. The Gold and Silver pawn shop employees and customers who were present during the raid were temporarily detained while agents took computers, documents, and several items from the inventory. According to witnesses, Rick's son Corey, who was present at the Gold and Silver pawn shop when the raid occurred, later remarked that it felt like something from a movie. IRS investigators and representatives from the Department of Cultural Heritage Protection also executed search warrants at Rick's home. As agents released Rick from his home, he maintained his composure despite neighbors snapping photos with their cell phones. As more information became available, it became evident that the police were investigating allegations of a sophisticated tax evasion scheme that involved money laundering operations involving high-value items passing through the pawn shop and dealing in illegally acquired artifacts. Financial institutions started the investigation by reporting suspicious transactions and receiving complaints from former business partners. In the weeks following the raid, the History Channel ceased producing Pawn Stars and stated that they were monitoring the situation and would make the right decision. As the investigation progressed, the Gold and Silver pawn shop remained open, but in the meantime, it experienced a significant decrease in business as a result of Rick being investigated for potential misconduct. At first, Rick's agents strongly denied any wrongdoing, claiming that the probe was only a misunderstanding that would be resolved shortly. As the investigation progressed, it became clear that Rick had been involved in a complex scheme to undervalue some historical artifacts for tax purposes while selling them privately at their true market value. Rick's well-known attorney, David Marshall, who was known for representing celebrities, told the public that Rick had always operated his businesses honestly and in full compliance with all laws. Additionally, detectives claimed that Rick had purchased pilfered historical artifacts through, according to court documents later made public. The investigation was partially initiated by a former employee who had worked closely with Rick on the acquisition of several high-value items. The employee informed authorities about a separate bookkeeping system Rick allegedly used for transactions he wanted to keep off the official records, including important historical documents and artifacts from museums and private collections. Rick was taken into custody but was eventually freed on bond the next day. He was scheduled to appear in court a few days later to answer to several criminal accusations, including tax evasion, money laundering, trading in stolen property, and conspiring to trade unlawfully obtained cultural relics. His attorney, David Marshall, attested to the fact that Rick vehemently refuted all accusations and promised to contest them in court. Rick maintained his innocence throughout the nearly year-long legal battle, but as more evidence was gathered and former co-workers testified against him, his position became increasingly vulnerable. The prosecution produced financial records, encrypted messages, and statements from former employees who claimed Rick instructed them to alter paperwork for